Good afternoon, everybody. Good to see you all. Welcome to September's edition of our resident town hall meeting, and to get us kicked off, I'd like to call forward Pastor Elliott to lead us all in prayer and to review the pastoral care of.
Thank you, Rolly. Let's pray. Dearest Lord, Heavenly Father, we give you thanks and praise for the beauty of this day, and as we woke up this morning, a little less humidity. That was awfully sweet. As we enter this fall season, we ask now that you would be with us during this meeting so that we might hear what is going on at this place that you have established for our care and our lives. Bless us now as we go forward, keeping us always in your grace. This we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. All righty, pastoral care update. Next slide. You all know who I am. Of course, this stuff is just old hat stuff, right? This is the Sunday services. Everybody needs to know about those. I encourage you, if you're having, maybe there's something going on in your lives where you have just a little bit less mobility on a Sunday, come on over to the ALF service. We'll always find another chair for you. Even if I have to make the deaconess give up her chair, we'll make a chair for you. And we'll get you seated, and we'll have some nice worship together. The afternoon divine service is next Thursday at 1:30 p.m. That is one of those other services we have once a month where we celebrate Holy Communion. It's in the chapel at 1:30 in the afternoon. There's no standing. We bring communion to you in your seat. And there's always a goodie bag and, of course, some food afterwards. So that's always a nice get-together, fellowship type event. Something we sometimes forget is the school chapel service on Wednesday morning at 8:40. That's also another opportunity to come worship and worship with a bunch of young ones who have all sorts of energy. So if you're looking for more energy in the middle of the week, this is the place to go. All right, next slide. Bible studies, of course, the ALF Monday morning at 10 a.m. That's a half-hour Bible study. Pastor Schaefer is providing that Bible study. I believe they're in the Gospel of Mark at the moment. And, of course, Wednesday morning, the men and women's Bible studies over at St. Luke's and Community Night Bible Study run by our deaconess intern back there, Alyssa Choate. You all tell me she's doing a good job. Now I have to come back and make sure that you guys aren't lying to me. I'm teasing, of course. All right. Koinonia continues. That's Crafters in Christ, the second and fourth Fridays, I think at 1:30, 2 o'clock, somewhere in there, right? It's on the schedule, right? And just a reminder that we have a prayer tent that we're putting up at the Haven Flea Market. If you'd like to be one of the folks that actually pray with people, we'd love to have you. We don't need a whole bunch, but if you just happen to feel the Holy Spirit moving and you want to come pray and help some people out who are having some tough times, we'd love to have you help with that as well. Now, I have Haven Community Men and Women's Retreat. This is to be determined. We're still trying to wrap our minds around where we'd like to take that and have a theme for it. The idea here is to have a morning where we would get together, men in one place, women in another place, go through pretty much not the same curriculum, but very similar, and then, women have their perspective, men have their perspective, and then we can all talk about it over lunch. We're planning on a cookout in the common area there with the landings where they have the grills, etc. I thought that'd be a pretty neat idea to do in like February when it's not so blasted hot. And so we're planning on making that happen. We'll see how that goes. Still need a piano player for Tuesday morning devotions. If you're available, we'd love to have you play devotions at the ALF at 8 a.m. on Tuesday mornings. And if you just can substitute once in a while, if you give us your name, we'll call you when we need a substitute, because that does happen. Because Dennis likes to take vacations for some reason. I don't know what's going on. At any rate, the God Hospitality is there because guess what? We might need a little bit of help with that cookout. If you don't want to, if you'd rather cook food instead of coming to the retreat in February, we have an opportunity to help with some hospitality as well. Now, visitation, that word is there because prior to COVID, this campus was really strong in visitation into the nursing home. And COVID seemed to change everything, didn't it? But even as we come out of COVID and the nursing home is gone, we still have an assisted living facility that is going to do nothing but grow. And I'd like to see us get back to doing a little bit more visitation in that space. The folks at ALF they're ambulatory, they can get around, but they don't get around like they used to. And it would be nice if we could get some more visitation in that space. There's no sign-in over there at the moment. It's just a matter of walking in, going to the room of the person you'd like to visit, and visit for a while. And if they're not there, well, you can hunt them down, or you can come back later, whichever you prefer. And, you know, a few minutes spent with them, it just makes a world of difference. And it's part of our community, our fellowship together. So I encourage you to do that. You really don't need me to organize it for you. You're all grown adults. I trust you, okay? But I encourage you to do so. The only other thing I have that is not on the slide, because I forgot to do it, probably because I was focused somewhere else, is the fact that next month I am going to the Lutherans for Life conference in Kentucky, which oddly enough is at the Creation Museum and the Ark. After you guys go, I get to go. All right. So we're going to be holding a life conference there. It's a national conference. I'm going to be there 3 days. I'll get back. I'm going to have, I promised the senior pastor that I would be there for worship that Sunday, but that Monday, I'm on vacation. So the week of the 16th of October, I am on vacation that week. I'll be in the area, and certainly summonable, that's a word. But I will be out. The deaconesses will be in charge. That's right. I think it's a resident meeting week, if I'm not mistaken, so you might see them here next month. And when you do, you'll know why they're here and not me. There we go. All right. Well, I think that does it for me, unless you all have some questions. Nothing. All right. Well, then I'm going to ask Lori Baker to come on. I think she's next.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so tomorrow, bingo here in this room. We're going to do prizes from the state of Maine. I wish I'd known you were gone, because I had a hard time finding prizes for Maine. If you would pick some things up from there, I have prizes, not real ones. Yeah, I didn't know you were in Maine. I didn't know you were gone, but that's okay. I have friends. It's okay. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, we are going to be leaving for the Art Encounter on Sunday, 8 a.m. sharp, for those who are traveling with us. If you have paperwork that you have not turned into me yet, I need that as soon as possible. I would appreciate it. 7:30, no later than 7:30 here. Sunday morning, the bus will leave at 8. September birthdays this month will be at Outback Steakhouse, since we're still honoring all of the restaurants that had graciously given us either gift prizes or some awards to give out to the residents. So Outback will be this month, Friday the 29th at 11:30. And don't forget, our flea market is coming up the 20th and 21st of October. I'm sorry, I have September on there, my fault. It is October. I won't be here on the 20th and 21st. All activities scheduled in Fellowship Hall will be canceled for that week. The calendar for October will be going out this week, since I will be gone all next week. Just keep in mind, the sign-up sheets will not be put out until I get back, which will be October 1st. So don't be looking for the sign-up sheets. Just to let you know, I didn't forget them, so I normally put them out on the 1st. When I get back, I'll put those out. And then you should be all receiving invitations for the new date for the 75th anniversary. I believe they're going out this week sometime. The new date will be November 14th. Does anyone have any questions for me? Okay, then I'll turn it over to Stephanie.
Hello, everyone. So I would like to introduce our newest residents to the Haven. I don't think any of them are here today. If you are. Oh, sorry. If you are, please stand. So first we have Don and Tanya Lake. I don't think I saw them. So they came all the way from Ocala, Florida, and their new home is 1906 Outer Circle Drive. So when you see them, say hello. You probably already have. And then our newest, just last week, Miss Betty MacArthur from New Baltimore, Michigan. And her new home is on Inner Circle 2017. And she already flew back for her granddaughter's wedding, so you won't see her around for a few days. But also, if you guys can help us, we do have availability at the landings right now. We've got some first floor units, some second floor units. So if you know anyone who is interested or has been considering, is already on the wait list, whatever the case may be, send them our way. We'd be happy to show them around. We are doing an open house at the landings next Tuesday, the 26th. So they can come by and take a look at those floor plans, have lunch, and learn all about it. So spread the word. And next we have home health.
I think
Robin?
Vince is actually in with a client. Who's
Okay,
not
all
around,
right,
so.
so next is Mary Ann. Did anybody
Oh
have any
wait, there's
questions?
Vince right there, right?
Fresh off the job. Just leave it away.
Sorry, I'm out of breath. They wore me out in there. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vince. I'm the Health and Wellness Coordinator here. Some new things that we got going on here is we're developing a fitness loop, as you can see right up here on the TV. This is the route that we kind of talked about doing. If you guys have any suggestions on how you think it should go, let me know. But this route right here, it kind of comes down Haven Drive, all the way down into the back section floor, and then up Fountain Drive. That's about 1 mile exactly. So we're going to have that marked with just like little distance markers so that you can track your progress and you can kind of see, have like milestones and goals that you can meet. We're probably going to go like every 1/8 of a mile, so we're looking at maybe about 8 markers that are going to be located around that fitness loop. But yeah, the fitness loop, it's a good, safe, and convenient space for residents to engage in regular physical activity and also provides a lot of good health benefits. Walking promotes good cardiovascular fitness, joint mobility, and muscle strength, which is very extremely important as we age. Additionally, outdoor setting fosters increased mental and emotional well-being, reducing stress, and it also enhances a better mood. So this is going to be a great opportunity for our community to come together and support one another in our fitness goals. All right, so that's one thing that we're going to start doing. If you guys look over here, we have an AED that's placed on the wall over here. This is there's going to be one here, and there's going to be one outside of Fellowship Hall in front of outside of the Be Well Clinic. So there's going to be AED training available. Look for times and dates on the scroll. Okay, so that's gonna come up if you guys are interested in getting trained on how those things work. The flu shots. So the flu shots in the Be Well Clinic. Flu season is late fall through early spring. Your body takes a few weeks after the vaccination to develop the protection against the flu. So if you guys are interested in getting a flu shot, you can call us up at the Be Well Clinic at the number listed on the screen right there. If you are unable to make it to the clinic, we can bring the clinic to you and meet you at your house, and we can get it done for you there as well. And that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Vince. I'm glad you talked about home health tonight. the person that had to talk about those things. Although I can say, as a recipient of Lutheran Haven Home Health, it's really awesome and it's wonderful. One of the events that's coming up in October from the foundation is Christmas Eve Stuffing Day. And I know there's a lot of people in this room right now that are veterans of Christmas Eve Stuffing Day, and I'm so thankful because at the end of the day, it really makes a huge difference in saving the Haven money in production costs. And we have about 3,500 pieces to stuff this year. So it's always one of those situations where many hands make light work, and it's wonderful. This is this year's Christmas Eel, which you've probably already seen on the scroll. Jean Theofelder is the artist, and she designed pyramid cloths and also stained glass windows. And I think you can probably see that with her artistic aesthetic. So the seal is just beautiful this year, as it is every year. And the neat thing about it, if you're new to the Haven, this art is done by our residents. And we have a contest, and it's chosen by our residents. And I'm really glad that I don't have to choose it, because there are several things, and they're all beautiful. So anyway, October 13th, from 10 until 12, I hope that you come out and help us stuff all these 3,500 pieces of materials for our Christmas Eel campaign. As you also know, the flea market is coming up on October 20th and 21st. We do have Oviedo High School kids that are coming out. We've also got St. Luke's High School kids that are coming out for the first time, which is really wonderful. So we should have a lot of good help this year, and hopefully you all will put them to work in many good areas. One of the other things that's really good, we have 4 charities that are going to be picking up the leftover items. Pray that they all show up. We have confirmations from Hope Helps, Goodwill, Sanford Teen Challenge, and a new one, and it's the United Methodist Children's Home. So I was really glad to see them sign up. I call them all the time, and they've always told me no. So this time they told me yes, and I was thrilled. They have a truck and they have a driver, so that's a good thing. And I know Lori had mentioned the 75th anniversary event coming up. Yes, indeed, your invitations are going to be in your farm boxes tomorrow. So please, if you would, RSVP as quickly as you can. This is going to be an event that will fill up quickly. So that's all for the foundation. I think, David, you're next. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Yes, indeed. It's coming. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. So I only have 3 short things. The first one is a big thank you. I know we've had some challenges with landscaping, but the feedback that I get from everybody actually helps us to make the corrections that are needed. If something's missed, or the crew isn't really paying attention to some things that they should be. It's not always pleasant to hear it, but I need to hear those things so that I can get the information to their supervisor, and they can correct it and adjust it. So thank you, seriously, thank you. There's 2 things that I also need some help with, if you to be aware of it. We're having issues with wipes going down the sewer system again. Wipes aren't like toilet paper. It doesn't break apart real easy, and if we throw too many down, we really shouldn't be putting any in the sewer system, but they get hung up real easy on the pipes and the joints of the pipes and so forth, and then they clog, and it creates a big issue. So please don't throw toilet wipes in the toilet. They're supposed to go into the trash. Bag them up and throw them in the trash. And then the other thing is transportation. We've been having, I don't know why, but we've been having some challenges with transportation with pickups. I know the guys, when you schedule something with them, they try really hard to, what I'll call, pad the time when they're coming, so that you've got enough time to get to where you're going, where there's enough time to pick you up and get you back home, with plenty of time to spare. But we've been running into some challenges with people being ready at the time that they've asked us to pick them up. So please just be aware of that, because it's a domino effect. If you're 5 minutes late, and the next person is 5 minutes late, the third person in line is 10 minutes late. So if we could just be aware of that, it would help the transportation department a lot, and they would be grateful for that. And that's all I got. Are there any questions about anything? Okay, I'll turn it over to Robin.
Thanks, Steve. All right, well, let me get on to the good stuff here. We've got our ALF renovation project. You know, I've been saying in October, well, you know how things go. So it is actually what the contractor told me last week, meaning phase 1 completion with CO, which is a certificate of occupancy, is now November the 3rd. Right, so it's a couple weeks delayed. Part of the reason for that was because in the process of renovating in phase 1, which included the upper lobby area and the office spaces, right behind our conference room over there is a big mechanical room where there's this ginormous air handler for our HVAC system. It's going on 17 years old, it's had multiple repairs, and rather than repair it any further, it's going to keep dumping money until we decide to replace it. So that put us back a couple weeks because of the time frame of the equipment coming in. And you might say, well, why can't you build everything else out and be done with the air handler in later? Well, it's a good sized room that the air handler goes in. Before they start putting drywall up and all that other stuff, we want to put the air handler in and build it. I don't want to put something in, finish it all, and then have to tear the walls back down to get this massive unit back. So that's the reasoning behind it, but that AC unit is due in a couple of weeks. They're going to start working on that with all the new ductwork and buttoning it all back up. So that's going along pretty well. Otherwise, we were just in last Friday. It's really starting to take shape. You can start to see in the streetscape area down where the offices are by the outpatient therapy gym on the west side of the building. They've got some facade that's going up in there, and it's really starting to take shape. You can start to see the form of it in the rooms and then the layout now, rather than just looking at infrastructure. So that's all good news on that end. More good news, mailbox structures. Yay! Year and a half, right? If you look, they were building the one down on Chipmunk. Today, they passed their framing and roofing inspection for that thing. The electrician was out there getting ready to transfer the electrical going into it. Meanwhile, the supplies are here for the one on Fountain Drive, and they're going to start constructing that one this upcoming Thursday. So those are all going up. Now, just so you understand how the process works and what we have to do, once the mailbox structures are up, we have to put in a couple of parking spaces. Believe it or not, the county requires us to put in a handicap spot, especially by this one down here. So they got to, they got to do that last, and then the mailboxes themselves go in, which means I don't have to deal with the county on that, but I have to deal with the postal service on that, to make sure that all the mailboxes are lined up properly, in the way they deliver their mail. So we're already talking to the mail guy now about how to do that and get that ahead of time. So when the mailboxes go in there, we already have a diagram in the back, so when he opens it up, he knows whose mail is getting delivered to him. So if you end up with your neighbor's mail on the front end of things, just stick it back in the mailbox. Give us a shot. We'll let the post office know that they screwed up. Not in those terms, but we'll say it. All right. Let's see. Aquatic Center. So the contractors are getting ready to finally resubmit for the permits. They had a first round of comments that came back. They had a lot of questions they had to answer. They think they have those resolved now, so we're resubmitting for the permits. So your prayers there. AT&T has completed their work. They finally, after all the wrestling with them, determined that we were right, that line that was in our full footprint was abandoned and can come out at no charge to us. So that was good. You know that the big tree behind there that was in the eastern footprint of the pool area behind the kitchen got taken down. And now we're going to be putting up, you'll start seeing these tree barriers going up around the remaining trees out there. The barriers that kind of rope off the area is required by the county before we can start digging anything. Duke Energy. Duke Energy is in the process of getting ready. They're in their construction schedule now, trying to give us a date when they're going to come out and drop a pedestal in. Okay, so what they're doing is they're coming off where the AT&T equipment is. We're dropping an in-ground pedestal that will feed the cabana on the pool area, the wood shop, and the village shop. So those lines will get dropped and be underground. It was a way that we could save money because initially they were going to come out of the electrical rooms in this building and route it all over to the Havana area. And by putting a pedestal in, it cut the cost more than in half of what we were going to have to do. So that'll be good. The wood shop will finally get its service upgrade, and then we can start rolling on wood shop stuff that we need to do after that pedestal mount goes in. All right. I just want to touch a little bit on refurbs, try to keep you all on the loop. We currently have 16 refurbs that are in the pipeline, and of the 16, 5 of those are landing units. Just an interesting fact. That building's not quite 5 years old yet, and we have already done probably upwards of 24 turns in that building in less than 5 years. So, with that being said, we've got 11 that are out in the community. Of those 11, the 2 burned out units are included. That is well underway. They're just about completed with demolition on there. They've got all their permits ready to go. Got a little bit of better news today from the contractors I was talking to, who said when they get to the inside and expose the trusses, they're going to be able to save more trusses than what they thought they were going to be able to save, which is good. So that saves money. And I think in the next week or 2, they're going to start demoing the roof, taking the roof off of it, start replacing all that. Because the trusses are 2 weeks out. The ones they have to replace are about 2 weeks out. So that's what they're looking at. So that one's rolling right along. All right, just a couple of housekeeping items before I get to the ones on the screen. Let me read this one because I'll forget about it, even though it's in my hand. Jeannie, Concierge Jeannie, wanted me to remind all of you who are traveling on the Ark Encounter trip, please have your vacation forms in by this upcoming Friday. So do it before you leave if you haven't already done it, so we know who's on the trip and who's out of town and what's going on, okay? So just a reminder, if you're going on that trip and you haven't turned your vacation form in yet, please turn it in to G or the concierge desk. All right, general housekeeping reminders, just a general reminder that if you use the kitchen, please clean up after yourself. Put everything back where you found it, okay? If you took something out, put it back where it came from. Like many hands make light work. Okay, just a reminder to keep after that. The second thing I want to talk about are the RSVPs. There is a reason why we RSVP for our events out here, and that's because we need to know how much food and drink beverage to have on hand for our events. We highly encourage you to bring your family members and your friends and whatnot, but if you're going to do so, make sure you RSVP by the RSVP date. Right? It's really hard when we have a big event like the Labor Day event or Corn Fest or something like that, and you brought your friends, and we were planning on so many people, and all of a sudden you've got all these extras with us. We don't have enough food and beverage to go around. Okay, so if you're going to plan on doing this event, look at the RSVP date. Think about who you might bring, and just go ahead and get tickets while you're getting your own for those people that you're going to bring to those events. Okay. We want to encourage people to come to our events. We want to make it pleasurable for everybody, but it's kind of hard when we don't know who's coming until the last minute. We don't have enough to go around. Make sense? Okay. Yeah, okay. So, Pastor Elliott, we will not be having a town hall meeting that week that you're off because that's flea market week. But we learned a valuable lesson I learned a valuable lesson from the last town hall meeting after an hour and a half of people going, man, I was falling asleep, my rear end was going to sleep, my back was going to sleep, these are too long. Well, I don't want to miss meetings if we don't have to miss meetings, because then the next one will be extra long. So, what did we do? October, we moved that particular one to the following Tuesday. There happens to be 5 Tuesdays in October. We moved it to the 24th at 2 p.m. So it'll be the week after flea market. Okay? Just a general reminder, we'll put that out in the scroll as well, or we'll have that reflected on our October calendar. I think that's about all I have. Any questions for me at this point in time? Okay, well, I'll call up our illustrious CEO, Jerry Griffin.
All right, good afternoon. Hi. Great great day to be at the Haven. It is. Appreciate you guys coming out this afternoon. We got a beautiful day out. I think Raleigh and I were talking this morning how finally the weather had cooled down, a little bit less humidity. Pastor Elliott mentioned it. It was really nice. So we're starting to get to that time of season. And it's really just awesome to see everybody out and about, to see all the things that are going on the campus. We're getting ready to head to the Ark, and we've got progress on the pool. The renovation is coming along great. It's just a really fun time, I think, to be here. I don't have a lot to go over today, just really three quick things. And one of them I really don't have to talk about, because if you guys didn't know, we rescheduled the 75th Thanksgiving and celebration. And if I'm not mistaken, I think invitations may be going out this week, I think. I thought I might have heard some rumors about that. So that topic is pretty much taken care of for me. The next topic is the Rotary Club of Oviedo. Last Wednesday, you might have noticed we had a whole bunch of folks in Fellowship Hall early in the morning, and that was the Rotary Club of Oviedo. So I am really excited to announce that they have, and we have agreed to host their weekly Wednesday morning breakfast here in Fellowship Hall. They came to us, for those of you who don't know much about them, they have been involved on our campus for many years. The most visible thing that they've done is the luminaries at Christmas. They do all that organizing. That's that group that comes out and does that. They did the lights on the trees out in front of the assisted living building, and just a great service organization. And it's really kind of a compliment to the community as a whole that they really wanted to be here. We were their first choice. So we did a trial run last week, and they said, we've got 3 other places that we want to go and try. They had such a good experience. They went ahead and said, you know what, we're going to go ahead and vote today. And they voted to go ahead and continue that here. So there's about 30 to 50 of them. They'll be every Wednesday, except for the Wednesdays, flea market week Wednesdays, and through some of the holidays. So we think it's going to be probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 45 to 47 weeks out of the year that we'll be hosting the breakfast here. So they usually start getting on campus around 7 to 7:15 in the morning, and they're usually done about 8:30, so around 8:45 or 9 the campus should be cleared out. It's really important for you guys to know that, because that's, in many cases, 30 or 40 cars coming on campus. We have a lot of early morning walkers. We've talked to them about that. We've emphasized that. And again, they're already familiar with our campus, so I don't believe it's going to be an issue, but I think you just need to be aware of that. And again, if you see them on, we had kind of a fun encounter on their first one, because they ran a little longer because they were doing the voting, and their exercise class was scheduled, so we had people coming in and people going out, and people moving tables and chairs, and honestly, it was kind of fun. So people got to meet each other and interact, and that was great. But going forward, it really shouldn't. I think we moved the exercise class back by about 15 minutes, and that gives everybody time to clean out. So if you see them, please welcome them onto our campus. Like I said, they've done a lot for us in the past and been very supportive of the Haven. And then just bear with us as some of these minor things we might have to work out as we accommodate them into our weekly routine, I guess. The last item I have is name that building. So we've got an assisted living building that's being renovated, so we need to renovate what we call that thing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to form a committee of residents and staff. Some of you will be on that committee to come up with the best name we can to name that building. And in addition to that, that group are going to look at and consider, we might explore naming some other areas of our campus. We've talked about many years about maybe naming some of our neighborhoods or some other areas. So that group will, I'll be reaching out to some folks over the next week or so to get that group together to start coming up with some names that we can use for that, potentially use for that new building. And let's see, that's all I got. Wow, okay, no, I can't be all I have. It's way too early. We got at least an hour left. All right, any questions? No questions even? All right, wait, I gotta check my, we do the phone call thing, so far we really haven't had too many, so let's see what we got here. No, that's okay, you guys aren't supposed to see those questions, that way I can edit those as needed. Not that I would ever do that. Wait a minute, did I hear doubt? Let's see, Lori, no questions? No questions. Wow. Okay, well, everyone, thank you again for just being you and for being a part of the Haven and making it the just awesome place that it is to be. Thanks a lot. Have a great afternoon.